Welcome back to Savage Showdowns. This week we will be returning to the battle arena. This week in the battle arena, we will have two of the largest flying animals of all time facing off, the Argentavis and the Quetzalcoatlus. But first, if you like this content, please give it a like and consider subscribing. It's free and it really helps the channel out. Also, sorry for the background noise. Still trying to figure out a better spot to record. First, let's take a look at the Argentavis. Size. Argentavis was a massive prehistoric bird with a wingspan of around 20 feet and weighing in at roughly 160 pounds, with some being even larger. This makes them several times larger than the largest living birds found today, especially the largest living birds today capable of flight. Strength. The strength of Argentavis is poorly studied. However, as a general rule, predatory birds can carry up to half their body weight. Argentavis, this would be around 80 pounds. Conservatively, we could say probably closer to 60-65 pounds, since the Argentavis was pushing the limits of how large a bird could be and still fly. In terms of grip strength, the strongest living bird, the harpy eagle, has a grip strength of around 600 psi, so Argentavis may have been around there or even higher given its much larger size. Finally, it also had neck and beak strength that were used to kill and rip meat. Speed. The maximum estimated speed for a flying Argentavis is around 42 miles per hour. Stealth. Using modern predatory birds as an example, Argentavis was likely a stealthy flyer. However, as a believed scavenger, it may have used its size to chase off other predators. Its use of stealth was probably quite low. However, it was believed to hunt smaller prey and likely used its stealth during these instances. Weapons and armor. For weapons, the Argentavis has its size, sharp beak, as well as its ripping strength combined with, again, the sharp beak. They also had talons and the grip strength for restraining and possibly carrying prey. Armor. Like most birds, armor was limited. Hollow bones with some feathers for protection gave the bird a very poor defensive strategy, leaving it highly vulnerable to the weapons of prey, assuming that the bird couldn't kill or restrain it quickly. Being much of the best defense is a good offense. So how does the Quetzalcoatlus stack up? Size. Quetzalcoatlus was one of, if not the largest flying animals ever, with a wingspan of 36 feet and weighing in at 550 pounds. Strength. Unlike birds of prey, Quetzalcoatlus did not rely on its talons for hunting and instead used its large beak and powerful neck to peck prey to death or simply pick it up and swallow it whole. Speed. A large and possibly migratory creature, Quetzalcoatlus was believed to fly at speeds of up to 80 miles per hour with very low agility, traveling several hundred miles a day, implying very high stamina as well. Size. Given its size and supposedly low agility, Quetzalcoatlus was likely not super stealthy, but was likely able to outpace most of its ground-based prey and would simply fly them down, especially if they ran in a straight line. Weapons and armor. For weapons, the Quetzalcoatlus had its large beak and powerful neck, as well as its raw size. It relied on this one powerful weapon, as opposed to having an assortment of weapons as seen in some predators today. For armor, similar to birds, the Quetzalcoatlus was lacking. It likely had some thinner scalation on its body, but it also had hollow bones and a thin wing membrane, meaning damage could be devastating. So, those are our two aerial combatants, but who wins? Let's find out. Our arena for this fight will be the open sky. Both of our massive predators are swimming around, looking for any prey or carrion they can find. Eventually, the two spot each other, neither being very well camouflaged in the air, and given their need for hunting, they cannot have a rival predator in the area. They fly towards each other, and the Argentavis extends its talons, while the Quetzalcoatlus prepares to peck. The Argent, upon realizing what is about to happen, veers and attempts to run away from the much larger predator. However, the much faster Quetzalcoatlus is able to quickly close the gap. It ends up right above the Argentavis and pecks down, its beak knocking loose some feathers but causing no serious damage as it missed the body. The Argentavis, again, uses its agility to turn and create some distance, this time circling back and attacking the Quetz by digging its talons into its back. Two aerial predators circle each other, fighting in a graceful dance where each attempts to avoid injuries due to their low armor, causing the fight to drag on. Eventually, they both get minor hits in as time progresses. The Argentavis, however, begins to tire due to its substantially lower stamina. In a desperate attempt to end the fight quickly before it tires too much, it flies straight at the Quetzalcoatlus, hoping to kill it by driving its talons deep into its chest and/or forcing it to lose its aerial momentum. The Quetzalcoatlus responds how it did before, by rearing back its neck to peck at the bird. This time, however, since the Argentavis doesn't veer, the peck makes contact and goes straight through the bird's chest cavity, breaking bones and puncturing the heart. The Argentavis is killed on the spot, and it falls to the ground below, where the Quetzalcoatlus slowly descends before feeding on it. Quetzalcoatlus wins. When I set up this fight, I didn't realize how large the size difference between these two was. I knew the Quetz was bigger, but I didn't realize by what margin, and I definitely didn't realize it was faster. I assumed that the differences were less than they were, and while I do believe the Argentavis could win this fight, it would have to do damage to the Quetzalcoatlus' wings and have it fall to its death. Its odds in actual combat, in my opinion, are relatively low, based on the massive size and weight difference, as well as the potential range difference, speed difference, and stamina difference. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Feel free to suggest any future fights. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next Savage Showdown.